two. Hello. 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 What's up, folks? Oh, fuck it, into the sub goal. And there goes the boulder right back to the bottom of the hill. There goes the boulder right back to the bottom of the hill. Hearing a lot of background noise. Okay, I see that. What's going on with that? Oh. Hello. Sorry, my gain was turned up like all the way. That was probably my son. My son loves to come over and fiddle with all the little knobs. He sees all the little knobs and he's like, ooh, let me turn that all the way up. What does this do? What does this do? Let's turn this bad boy all the way up. I enjoyed the white noise machine aspect. It's just, it would have not been good when I started actually talking. Dude, those Langley, Virginia servers really pumping. Exactly. In the big hangar that I work in, my little cubicle here. I feel like I'm having a good hair day today. I actually didn't take a shower. I was gonna take a shower and I was like, you know what? I feel like my hair is kind of doing a kind of cool little thing right here. I don't think I want to mess with that. I don't think I want to mess with that. It's got kind of like a pompadour kind of curl thing going on here. It's kind of cool. I missed the Hawaiian shirt day memo. I'm sorry to hear about that. Woke up on the beach, feeling fine, hair looking finer. That's right. That's how it's good. Bragging about his Sigma hygiene. Listen, I shower every single day. And I will indeed shower today as well, just maybe a little later, that's all. Nothing wrong with that. I'm about to enter the Hawaiian shirt phase of my life. It really, for me, it really synced up with like the middle age thing. As much of a cliche as that is. It was last summer. I started getting, I think Instagram like knew that I was getting to the age that it wanted to start showing me funky shirts. I would open Instagram and I'd be like, oh, look at these funky shirts. That's fun. And I got a couple of funky shirts. This one, I feel like it needs to be tailored. Like the sleeves are too... I would like a sleeve on that. I would like a sleeve that came up to... No? Just showing you how the sleeve would look. I would like the sleeve to go there. I think this is too much. What I mean? You know what I mean? And I was just showing you the sleeves. That's all I was doing. That's all that I was doing. A nice daiquiri would set it off. That would be nice. A nice noon daiquiri. If you like pina coladas. Now you could mess up the lyrics to Margaritaville, but no one would question it. Listen, not to relitigate that. I just think the lyric that I thought it was kind of a clever and interesting lyric. You know, that's all. It's like, oh shit, I lost my sugar and salt. Where is it? Oh, there it is in that glass. You know, I thought it was like a clever turn of phrase. Not to doubt Jimmy, you know. Not to doubt Jimmy, the lyric as it is great too. I just thought it was a clever lyric. That's all. I didn't realize Cornel West had good takes on Ukraine. Yeah, I mean, he's one of the only people, like I was talking about yesterday, he's one of the only people that's like, he's able to criticize NATO and talk about the U.S. empire and talk about imperialism, which is based in a very long-standing tradition of that kind of rhetoric within the like civil rights movement and the social justice movement. Really hoping a meeting does not interrupt my subversiveness. Hello up the Reds. I hope you don't get interrupted by a meeting either. Really, this is the most important meeting you could possibly be attending right now, so. I swear to God, I just resubbed. Go to 135 or I'll become a conservative. Well, I'll get, if you did, Diego, I'll get the alert. There's no reason that I shouldn't have an alert. Maybe it's just taking a moment. Wasted away again in Margaritaville. What a great song. Even though I messed up the lyrics. Still love it.
This is some guy, Rob Russo, some leftist based in Canada. I was turned on to this sick individual, and I found this.
Hello, Larry. What is up? Hello, Leaping Larry. Thank you for the raid. Welcome in. Welcome in, friends. How's it going? What is up? Pub is no longer allowed in Margaritaville. That's not true. That's not true. Look at me. I would fit right in Margaritaville. Some people say that there's a woman to blame, but I know it's my own damn fault. That's the most important lyric. That's the most important lyric. When he realizes that it's useless to blame someone else for his own situation. It's his own mistakes and his own bad decisions that have landed him in Margaritaville, in this spiral of drinking and eating cake. He realizes that it would be foolish to blame anyone else, a woman or anyone else, for his position, his current situation. That's called taking accountability. It's called being an ally. Jimmy Buffett's really the best ally that you could ask for. The best part is that he comes to that realization over the course of that song. No, I love that as well. That's one of my favorite things about it. It's nobody's fault. You know, that's when he starts. Second chorus is like, it could be my fault. You know? Let's be real here. It could be my fault. Last chorus, it's my own damn fault. I love that, actually. That's so true. It do be like that. It do be like that. Jimmy Buffett, love the Pina Colada song. I just watched that episode of It's Always Sunny a few days ago. I've been making my way through It's Always Sunny. It's been very enjoyable. Did you see the cursed real cheeseburger? I did, yeah. And like, listen, I like American cheese. I don't think I want, what is it, 35 slices of American cheese? I don't think I could do that. I don't think that would be healthy to do either. Yeah, it was real. It's in like Singapore or something. Thailand. Wendy tries to get all philosophical at the end, and the guy's just railroader. I had I've been seeing a couple good ones as well. I watched yesterday. I watched the noir one. The janitor always cleans twice or whatever it is. I can't remember the name of it. Today I watched the global warming. The gang solves global warming. That was fun as well. What a great show. God damn. The janitor always mops twice. They're so mean to Sweet D. I think that's one of the funny things about like the early season, like the season 1 and season 2, when Sweet D is kind of like the straight man in the group, and she's like kind of taken seriously, and she's intelligent, and they're all like dumbasses and morons. And then as the year goes on, she just gets dragged right down into the muck with all of them, until she's like she's just as bad or worse than any one of them. I find that's a really funny dynamic. It's Rob Rousseau. If you're into jailing landlords and fast trains, he's your guy. Listen, this is my plank. It's taken off. It's taken off. The whole country's talking about it. Happens to characters like Rickety Cricket and shit too, for sure. The whole saga of Cricket is just awful. It's just genuinely upsetting. And now every time you see him, he's like even more physically deformed and depraved. It's so horrible. Oh my god. It happens with Frank too. Like Dennis and his dumb friends are a black hole that ruins the life of everyone they meet. They just pull everyone right down into the muck. It's so bad. It is really Dennis, yeah. Some of those Dennis line reads though are just it's just so fantastic. It's like almost once an episode, Dennis will bust out a line read that's just so weird, and will just totally just knock me on my ass. 2 wars, yeah, like that. Newsflash, asshole. That one is good. Yeah, the whole implication thing, that's not really a line read. That's just like a glimpse into his like depraved, demonic thought process. 2 wars. Fucking hilarious. I looked into getting the rights to some Dan music for your campaign ads, Rob. It's a no-go, but Macho Man is available. We could do that. That's working for me. That is working for me. Folks, my platform is sweeping the nation. Everyone's talking about it. Everyone's talking about the Rob Rousseau campaign. And it's the big, bold ideas. Shit. What's that doing down there now? Everyone's talking about the Rob Rousseau campaign and the big, bold ideas in it. The 2 points. Half of the people in our fucking parliament are landlords. They don't want housing prices. One more time. Half of the people in our fucking parliament are landlords. They don't want housing prices to go down. They want them to keep going up because that's how they make money. Which should be illegal, by the way. That should be illegal. That should be corruption. And if I was in charge, those people would be in jail. If you're an elected official and a landlord and you're making policy that increases housing prices, jail. Jail. Open and shut case. Open and shut case. Corruption. I think I'm going to run for political office in Canada on that platform and high-speed rail. Those are the two planks. I'm going to run on two things. Jailing half of our political class for corruption and building a high-speed rail line between Quebec City and Windsor, Ontario. That's my platform. How about that? Everyone's talking about it. Lots of people, really smart people, are saying it's the way of the future. It's the way of the future. Thank you, Squatch. Thank you. I like the part where he jails the worst people in society. Yeah, and people will say, like, oh, that's extremism. That's authoritarianism. Oh, it's authoritarian to make crime illegal? Really? Is that so outrageous? That's my big outrageous idea for someone to campaign on that. Let's make crime illegal. How about that? Is that really so horrible? Is that really so awful? I mean, America is ground zero for political corruption. Look at all the fucking stories coming out about the Supreme Court, Clarence Thomas, and all these conservative Supreme Court justices. Like, this open corruption. It's like they're almost laughing at you. They're daring you to do anything. Openly corrupt. This openly corrupt, nakedly partisan institution. Not only can they say, like, no, we're getting rid of the Supreme Court justice because for this corruption, they can't even, like, they're let alone send them to jail or have any kind of legal consequences. They won't even be like, hey, can you stop being a judge? They can't even do that. How many people in the United States government have doubled or tripled their net worth in their long history of being in Congress or the Senate, like Nancy Pelosi or whoever, or Dianne Feinstein? But you're Canadian. I know I'm Canadian, Newman, and that's why I'm going to run for office in Canada. I'm just talking about how in both Canada and the United States, corruption in our political system is just totally normalized and encouraged, and I think that we should start going after that. And someone should promote that. To make crime illegal. We're gonna make, like, forget make America great again, make Canada great again. Let's make crime illegal again. That's gonna be my platform. I can't wait for nature to take its course with Pelosi and Feinstein. There's a whole lot of, like, very old people in the United States government that need to go. And the whole thing about high-speed rail, like, people can talk about rail or, like, I don't support rail or whatever, but it's like, it's not even about, I mean, it is about rail, obviously. It's about the transport. But it's also about, like, this is how you would sell it to people, right? It's a big program of national rejuvenation. Right? We don't build anything anymore. We don't do anything. We're completely incapable of doing anything. This is going to be the biggest, boldest infrastructure project in modern history, or in the history of this country. We're going to connect we're going to connect 40% of this country's population. We're going to create this beautiful, modern, gorgeous transportation system, which is going to be the envy of the world. We're going to give thousands of people great paying union jobs building these railroads. What is the why can't, you know, what is our left-wing party in Canada doing now? Can we please have means-tested dental care at some point this decade? Maybe, please. If you don't mind, that's our big bold vision from our left-wing party in Canada right now. Please, can we have means-tested dental care? We'll be ever so happy if we can get some means-tested dental care in maybe this decade. No, fuck, this is lame. This is lame bullshit. What about a big, bold vision to transform the entire country and give great paying jobs to thousands of people and connect the 40% of the population with this modern, beautiful transport system? What about that? And yeah, let's start going after the obviously corrupt people in our political system, or the it's not even limited to landlords in Congress. Like I was talking about the Weston family. Oh, you raised grocery prices? You raised grocery prices during this historic, like, national crisis. You're making even more record-setting profits, billions of dollars more in profits after raising the prices, exploiting the workers that are doing the actual work at your grocery store, replacing them with robots so you can make even more money. Jail. What do you think about that? Jail. What is wrong with that? Why can't we talk about these things? It's maybe we can possibly raise taxes on the Weston family so they pay slightly more. No, it's too late for that. It's too late for that. Jail. Or you can go help build the railroad. And you can get a salary for it too, once we expropriate all your funds and your properties. We'll expropriate all those funds and properties. We'll nationalize the grocery retailers. And then you get a great job. Luckily for you, you should be thankful for this. You get a great job doing something productive for once in your life. For once in your life, you can do something productive that actually helps society, and you can help build this railway system. You should be thankful for this. Traditional worker values like consequences for exploiters and scammers. And that's what I mean. I want to get tough on crime. This is what I'm talking about. I want to get tough on crime. But that doesn't mean giving billions of dollars to cops to continue to assault poor black and brown and indigenous people on our streets. It means going after the people that are doing the real crime, the actual crime, the corruption, profiteering, exploiting, scamming. Funny thing is, the government did used to own all this stuff. Neolibs and cons sold us out. Exactly. It's a neoliberal era. And that's why it's none of these issues are going to get better when you vote for conservatives. Or if the conservatives are in charge, you're going to vote for liberals. You're lucky you're not in a ditch. Exactly. I think your only issue is going to be the oil companies allowing you to run or live long enough to win. That is the inherent issue, isn't it? That is the inherent issue. But, you know, maybe if you get to that point, people begin to wake up and realize, like, what our democracy actually is. Turns out you can't actually say those things. You can't run on those things. Some G Fuel. It's just water. It's just tap water. That's all. You know what I mean, though? That's what our left-wing parties are doing. That's their big, bold vision. Please, can you pay 5% more in taxes? Please, can we have means-tested dental care? Just like Gatorade without the sugar and red color, exactly. Who's gonna pay for this big high-speed rail system? You're talking about a multi-billion-dollar infrastructure project. You know? Who's going to pay for this? Well, the fucking oligarchs that own this country, they're going to pay for it. How about that? They're going to pay for it. And the public's going to profit from it. Just once, we are going to have a project put in place that's going to be publicly profitable and privately subsidized. I know in our neoliberal hell, we're used to doing things the opposite way. We're going to do one time, we're going to do it this way. And we're going to see how that works. It's going to be privately subsidized and publicly profitable. Instead of doing it the opposite way, which is how we do every single thing else in this society. Like our whole telecom infrastructure is built using public funds, and then these telecom monopolies are just handed over to these telecom monopolies so they can reap immense profits from it and do a bad job at the same time. They don't even do a good job. Everyone hates them. This is why you need to run on something like this. Everyone hates the telecom companies. Liberals, conservatives, libertarians. Every single person in this country fucking hates their telecom company. So when you're running on going after corruption and rail and this kind of thing, be like, oh yeah, we're gonna completely dismantle all these telecom companies. People get the subsidies instead of corporations. What a crazy concept. What a crazy idea. What a wild idea. It's so crazy that it just might work. Didn't they bury Corbyn for proposing to nationalize broadband? Yeah, I think they called it broadband Stalinism, if I remember correctly. And I guess that would be the difference. If I was proposing this and someone said, Rob Rousseau is proposing broadband Stalinism, instead of saying, but no, it's not, it's just, I would say, yes. Yes. That is what I'm proposing. Yes. Broadband Stalinism sounds like exactly my politics. We got to lean into this. Lean right into it. Yes, and you're going to love it. Yeah, exactly. Okay, they called it broadband communism. Okay. Even that, pretty good. 9 out of 10 fit Rob. Great. Sick day for me. Got overheated at work yesterday. I'm laying in bed watching Star Trek TOS. Thank you, Tyrell. I'm glad you enjoyed the fit. I hope you feel better. I'm glad you enjoyed the fit. Then they asked him next, do you plan to nationalize sausages? What a silly country. I don't mean to denigrate your culture, Ashrand. It's a silly place, though, the UK. It's a very silly place. And it's like, yeah, we are going to nationalize sausages. Yeah, we will. Let us not go to Camelot. Yes, I do plan to nationalize sausages and all foods. We've got some state-issued bloody bangers, mate. Shut the fuck up and take your gigabit fiber connection. They dress in their little outfits with their crowns, jewels, fuzzy hats, and swords. It's playland country. I mean, the whole coronation was really something else with that.
You can count
so
on
many
me.
mystical items.
Good old Rob to talk you through all this.
We'll be late waiting in line all day for bloody sausages, innit? Tyrell, thank you very much for the 12 months tier 1. 1 entire year from Tyrell Jones. I appreciate it. I hope you feel better. Don't some third world socialist countries have faster internet than the US? I mean, I don't have numbers in front of me, but I think we all know that like as much as people say that like the market will deliver the best things, and look at these private companies like Comcast, you know, are they delivering the best possible service to people? You ask every single person, you know, that you meet, they're going to say no. Everyone fucking hates their service provider. We were almost the first country to get fiber broadband. Thatcher killed the project so that she could sell the telecom company. Man, Reagan and Thatcher, what a horrific legacy that we're still like we're living in the fallout of the Reaganism and Thatcherism. Like we're living in the wake of that destruction, that economic destruction, and the whole process of privatization and the twisting the knife finally in the what remained of whatever welfare state. They certainly fucked. I do not want to think about that. That is horrible. That's horrible to think about. Starmer has now said officially they won't deviate from Tory spending plans. And that's the amazing thing about Labour and Starmer and everything, right? It's like now all these like preening centrist fuckheads in the UK are all bragging because it looks like Starmer's going to win the next election. But they've given up on anything that was in their platform that would be remotely helpful to people or different from the Tories really in any way. It's like, congratulations, you have red Tories that are going to run the country instead of the blue Tories. Great. Corbyn was so close to becoming PM too, and his own party sabotaged him. That's how fucking democratic our liberal democracy is in the UK or Canada or elsewhere. Starmer's rapidly unwinning the election, doing it too. That would be the most amazing result if he managed to somehow still blow this. Yeah, we live in the neoliberal era, the classic social democracy era where the semi-planned wartime economies were still in place is long dead. One, I think we're in the tail end of the neoliberal era. Like that's when people talk about like late capitalism. Sometimes there's like a criticism of that because it's like, well, does that mean capitalism is going away and it's going to be something else? And it's not, but it does feel like we're living in the tail end of that kind of economic era, right? And we're transitioning to something else. But unfortunately, we're not transitioning back into like a New Deal social democracy kind of thing that sustained these nations for decades. In a century ago, just about. It's kind of seems like we're transitioning into something even worse, which is kind of grim to think about. Yeah, basically just going back to feudalism. Yeah. I mean, it's essentially feudalism with maybe a few little tweaks or a few different, like, then things are named a little bit differently. But we're still basically just now a nation of serfs. Hasn't there been studies that, like, serfs in the feudalism era actually had, like, more rights and more leisure time than a lot of workers today? Like, am I just making that up? Yeah, feudalism with an app. Feudalism with American characteristics. Yeah, this is great. This is great stuff. And that's why I always complain whenever these like social democrats complain about the USSR being like red fascism or whatever, or all these people that are like, we don't need to have like Marxism, Leninism. It's authoritarian. It's evil. It's violent. We just need to go back to like a New Deal type thing, and we can have capitalism, but just with a few tweaks to make it better. Guess why the New Deal happened, asshole? There is no New Deal without the Soviet Union. There is no New Deal without the Russian Revolution. The New Deal happened because people were scared. They were scared of getting fucking murdered. Do you think they're scared now? No, they're actually quite comfortable. Late capitalism, technically speaking, means when capitalism runs out of room to grow into and expand. The consumers and producers, when you can't expand, you have to strip what you built up before. Therefore, gig economy, anti-union laws, workers' rights being curtailed, housing getting worse for the majority, and I think infrastructure crumbling as well too. That's a part of it, isn't it? Like you look at footage of America in like the 40s and 50s and all the gleaming new buildings and beautiful bridges and infrastructure projects that were built. That was part of that New Deal program. And now it's just no money going to upkeep any of the bridges or roads. Everything just falling apart. Everything looks like shit. You know, nothing has been updated for fucking decades. We don't even know if we'll need those bridges in the future. Exactly. Once you have flying drone Ubers or Teslas. The problem with reforms is that they can be reversed. That's right. Or when you have a political system where you allow people to just spend their fucking lives trying to dismantle every little bit of progress that you make as a society, which is actually quite undemocratic for a lot of people. Chile 73 tells me that democratic reforms are not going to work out in the long run. Yeah, not without a militant and armed movement that's protecting those gains. After a revolution, you get rid of any aspiring reversers. No, I think what you should do actually is you bring all those people back in to signal to everyone that you believe in an open democracy and you're not authoritarian. Bring all those people in to make sure that they feel represented, so you feel better about yourself. Loblaws now provides health services for money in Canada. We're moving towards U.S. healthcare. Yeah, I mean, our telecoms are getting involved in healthcare too. Yeah, they're militant, they're armed, and they're willing to do terrible things to maintain power. Exactly. It's almost like that's kind of what you have to do. Today I wish to share with you the simple notion of hello. Hello, Barfcast. It's getting weird. It's hard for me to get to know you by you saying Barfcast. Barfcast TV. I've made the point that no country in the world gets revolution until the USA ends as a hegemon. Well, that's the imperialism is the primary contradiction. That's what they say, right? And that's why when people in the left criticize like the Soviet Union or China and be like, why aren't you doing socialism yet? Why haven't you abolished the state? Why haven't you abolished the class system? Why haven't you given all ownership of the means of production to the workers? Why haven't you done that? It's like because there's still the threat of imperialism is still present. And there will be none of that until that threat is like defeated. You need a state. You need to have a state to protect yourself and protect your revolutionary gains that you've made. It's true, folks. It's true. We got a global hegemon. And many of us live right in it, right in the belly of the beast. We got to worry about that. We got to worry about that before we start criticizing other countries for how they're doing things. I mean, I just always laugh at... Remember that guy a few weeks ago? The Maoist from Ontario lecturing us about Chinese socialism. It's truly funny to me, like being a socialist in Canada or the UK or America and being like, these other socialist countries around the world, they're just not doing it right. They're not doing socialism the way I would do it. They're fake socialists. The 90 million members of the Chinese Communist Party, they're fake socialists. I'm the real socialist, the Maoist in Ontario, who has never accomplished anything in my fucking life. Remember how David Harvey didn't have imperialism in his top 17 contradictions? Yeah, and wasn't it that VJ book release where VJ tore into him over that? I need a theory. Give me a theory. That was great. So I wonder if today we can probably watch some kind of video content. I've been yapping a lot the last couple of days. It might be nice to just have more of a chill day and be able to look at some video content here. The Communist Party of China need more Ontarians. I agree. Yeah, the Ontarian faction. We should be allowed to join. People from other countries should be allowed to join the CPC. We should be allowed. I think if I had one criticism, that's what it would be. Why can't I be in there? Look where I am. Like, look what's surrounding me. I got nothing. Just give me this. Come on. Oh god, this NATO hype video. We'll look at that in a minute. We'll talk about this NATO summit. I'm sure there's some decent video content. Just checking to see how my political platform video. Okay, it's doing okay. It's doing a bit of numbers. NATO hype videos have nothing on the PLA hype videos. My favorite are the North Korean or the DPRK, like when they're doing like the strength feats and whacking each other with sticks and stuff. That's my shit. That's the kind of military hype video that I want to see. Seeing if there's any actual good coverage of the NATO summit that's not like people falling all over themselves to slobber on it. I hate that my country has joined the NATO. Now we'll be patrolling Icelandic airspace and spending a whole bunch more money on defense. Are you in Sweden? Where are you at? Yeah, no, but it's totally democratic though, and it's going to be really great. It's to protect you. It's to protect you. Spending all that money on defense is to protect you from the evil Russians, you see. I'm in Finland. Sweden is yet to join. Okay, so yeah, Sweden has like a path to joining now. Thing is, Sweden already made arms to sell to NATO anyway, so not much has changed except that now you have to act as a shiny new pawn for the U.S. Well, and as we were saying yesterday, though, the idea that NATO has been strengthened by like Sweden potentially joining, like anyone care, like anyone's intimidated by Sweden. Oh no, not Sweden. Said no country ever. Oh no, Sweden. Oh. Oh no, please. Finland joining a right-wing world power faction once again. Again, it's an anti-imperialist defensive alliance. Now let me take a big sip of Diet Coke and take a look at the old Finnish Air Force symbol. Yeah, but if any of those nations are attacked, then we're obligated to go to war, which I'm sure everyone would hate as well. They have troops on skis. That is pretty cool. That is pretty cool. There's a really great James Bond opening with bad guys on skis. I can't remember which one it is. It might be the George Lazenby one. Don't sleep on Sweden. They make some very good weapons there. Saab knows what they're doing. I guess, but is anyone actually, like, in terms of, like, making weapons, okay, but is anyone really worried about Sweden, like, doing anything? Besides, like, selling weapons to other people? I don't know. I don't know. This is what happens when you get in trouble in Sweden.
James, I need you.
So does England.
He has just left. He has just left. Over and out.
Message received. We are waiting. Over and out.
That's Roger Moore. Good, Jenny, good. Love it. Shit.
James, I need.
Absolutely love it. That's old school filmmaking. They could never replicate this opening now, not with how woke culture is and how it is. Imagine them doing this with modern green screen and CGI guys. Yeah, exactly. Tom Cruise is the only one that's
You can count on me. You're gonna have good old Rob to talk you through all this.
keeping this flame alive. Husker, thanks very much for the Prime. 20 months of Tier 1 from Husker Du. Thank you, Husker. Yeah, the very inconspicuous spy parachute. Exactly. They really want to rub it in. Isn't Roberts on my favorite anti-imperialist mukbang streamer on Twitch.tv? What do you think of my fit, Husker? What are your thoughts? Is that working for you? What a fun fit. Thank you, Mac at work. Thank you. I'm also a Hawaiian shirt wearer, and I'm glad you and I both think it back from the Boogaloo aesthetic. We can't give these motherfuckers everything. We can't just give them, like, we're not winning anything when we just give them Hawaiian shirts. Well, I guess these weird freaks wear Hawaiian shirts, so now I can't. No. No. We literally, if we do that, we let the terrorists win. Quite literally. Got to draw the red line somewhere. I'm talking about a line in the sand, dude. Across this line, you do not. You know how the rest of it goes. Hey, Hildy, how's it going? How was your stream yesterday? Or was it? I'm losing track of time. I think I'm referring to 2 days ago. Just tell me how it's going, okay? Also, dude, Asian American, please. Yeah. That's good, Hildy. Happy to hear that. Okay, let's look at some of this NATO shit. In blue line patch for with the NATO. The blue line is tropical print. I like that. Naruto is bad. I didn't mean to write Naruto. I've never actually seen Naruto. One story about the Walter PPK pistol used by early James Bond and also previously by Danish police forces that in 1993 fired 112 shots at protesters while maiming several, failed to kill a single one, after which they demanded and received 9mm Glocks. Losers. Loser shit.
It's NATO time, Jack.
Sorry, I didn't realize it was so loud. Sorry. Let me go back to this. Expanding. Look how it's expanding right up to Russia's borders. Look at that. Look at that, expanding right up to their borders. All these former beautiful socialist republics. That's the saddest thing. Oh. Imagine thinking this was cool. Come on. And I'm sorry, but when you're one of these like left-wing, we must defend Ukraine people, this is who you are you're part of this. You can't dance around that. You can't say like, oh, this is so cringe, but also I support the endless arming of Ukraine. You can't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to say. If you support endlessly arming Ukraine, you support this. You like this. You know, people have tried to walk that line. You know what I mean? Of course, I don't support NATO or any of these weird imperialist organizations, but we gotta keep the flow of arms to Ukraine to protect them from the Russians, protect their democracy and sovereignty. Sorry, this is what you sound like to me. These are your friends now. It's like trying to be half ironic, but feels like it too. Like, no, you guys actually think this shit. Yeah, exactly. This is the liberal id laid bare. They can replace it, but this is what they hold inside for sure. And like the fascist aesthetics are just off the fucking charts in this. And I like too, because as much as they said NATO didn't expand, all that stuff about NATO expanding, that's a lie. Well, what's this? You know, what's this? This is after the Soviet Union has collapsed. What's going on? This is halfway through the video. That's expanding right up to their border, right? All these former socialist republics like Albania. How sad is it that Albania is yet another one of these backwards, neo-fascist, NATO bootlicking coward countries? Very sad.
We simply use the computer to mark up the size of the account.
Is this a video of humanitarians that are now dropping cluster bombs that a year ago was described as a war crime when Russia was deploying them?
That's right, Dimitri.
Thinking
yes.
face.
That's right, Dimitri. Thanks for the 200 friend coin. Of course, these are the human rights respecters. The human rights respecters have logged on. Being fascist is their self-determination. Yeah. And if countries want to like give up on socialism and democratically self-determine themselves to be fascist, you know what I say to that? No. How about that? No, you can't do that. Albania went from calling other communists revisionists to this. Exactly. What a sad state of affairs. What's this, Diego? Oh man, I love this. I already even know what this is. This is one of the greatest Twitter comments ever. Hoja absolutely rolling in his bunker grave, for sure. And honestly, this is why you need people like Hoja that are in power for a long time. Because they're the ones that hold this shit together. And then once they're out of the picture, it all starts to fall apart. Yeah, elevated to sapience by USSR tweet, for sure.
It's the small Chinese colonial island making issues for the world. You hate your own identity so much that you do your best to laugh as in European Slavs.
The Republic of Indonesia is made up of tens of thousands of islands, hundreds of cultures and languages. Estonia is made up of beat-and-onion slop-eating Hungarians who polished the cocks of German horses for 1,000 years before being elevated to sapiens by the USSR.
Forever lumowing at the fact you're Indonesian. Ha 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 ha.
Laugh it up, you ugly Hungarian maggot. Your destiny is to be obliterated into nothing by a Chinese dumping missile.
Will Estonia ever recover from this? God, I hope not.
Estonia barely has 1.3 million people. Is that even a country? That's Estonia is certainly. Listen, I'm in Canada, so I can't really talk. Estonia is not ever defeating the fake country allegations. Never. Elevated to sapience by the USSR is my favorite sentence ever, for sure. Estonia has 3 good people who made Disco Elysium, and then everyone else sucks. Seriously, we're going to pretend this is a real country? Really?
Dear fellas, I'm really sorry not to be able to be there with you in person for the first ever NATO summit in Vilnius. But I will be following in your footsteps in a few days when NATO leaders meet. As a proud honorary fella, I want to send my greetings to you and I wish you the most based NATO summit possible. As I've said before, the aggressor must be defeated on the battlefield, but Russia is also waging a war against our democracies, an energy war, a cyber war, an information war. Democracies need to take steps to defend themselves in all these areas, as well as holding the line to defend a world where rules still apply and where technology works for, not against democratic societies. You are all a living example of this, fighting Russian disinformation and bad takes with good humor, intelligence, and enthusiasm. Behind every fellow is a real person. You are volunteering your time and energy because you believe in Ukraine's victory. I thank you for all your support to Ukraine, as well as the Baltic Sea region and Estonia. And thank you for all your support to me personally. It really, really warms my heart. So what more to say than keep fighting the good fight, because NATO expansion is non-negotiable and Ukraine will win. With you.
Of course, the NATO guys took an inflatable shark on stage. They can't hide the fact that they're psychopaths. Didn't they sell some kind of scarf for like 8,888 euros or something like that as well? Really putting it on the nose. This was a great image, yeah. This is Zelensky at his most relatable, honestly. We've all been there. Listen, I get it. I'm neurodivergent. I know what this is like. This is good. Do you have the Jolie video? We can look at that. We can look at that after, for sure. Estonia. Talk about a fucking fake country. Canada's not real. Of course it's not. But like, if Canada's not real, which I agree with, Estonia is fucking definitely not real. Could not be more fake. In fact, let's ask the experts, okay? Let's ask the experts. It's a simple question. Estonia, is it a real country?
It's false. No way. Not this time. We created it. Not this time. No, not this time. It's totally made up. Pure fiction. It's fiction. It's fiction. We made it up. We made this one up. It's a made-up tale. It's a total fabrication. It never happened. It never happened. This one was invented by a writer. Not this time. It never happened. It's false. It never happened. It's a fake. It's fiction. It's an urban legend that never happened. No way. We got you.
We got you.
Not a chance. Not this time. It never happened. It never happened. We made this one up. It's fiction. We made up this one. We made it up. Not this time. Wrong. Not this time. Not this time. You're wrong. Not this time. It never happened.
The experts have spoken. Stu. A picture's worth 1,000 words. NATO have turned their backs on Zelensky. Without NATO's direct military intervention, Ukraine will perish, making Zelensky a dead man walking. The West sacrificed Ukraine to its people in an attempt to weaken Russia. They failed. I mean, and I'm sorry to say, this is what happens when you make a deal with the West. They said, don't worry, keep pushing. Keep pushing against Russia. Keep arming these eastern militias. We're going to defend you, bro. We're going to defend you if they ever attack. Don't worry, we got your back. We're going to help you. And then this is what happens. You know? They don't have your back. They won't. And they're saying, no, they're not going to be in NATO until the war's over, which is like pretty much just a sign to Putin to just keep it going as long as possible. Or even if it does end or there's some kind of a ceasefire, there's going to be like some kind of like Korean War style like détente that just goes on into infinity. The rest of Western Ukraine is going to turn into some like vassal state, completely zombified and dominated by Western capital. He'll probably be assassinated by like right sector guys that are armed by NATO, the very people that he's been doing deals with. Great situation. I can't say envy him. Where's the Jolie statement? I think I have it on bookmarks. So here's Canadian Foreign Affairs Minister Mélanie Joly is asked to define what "when the war ends" means regarding Ukraine joining NATO. She's completely unable to answer the question. Let's hear this. Let's see if we can glean some information from this.
You say when conditions allow and when the war ends. So how do you define when the war ends? Do you mean by that, for example, every Russian soldier will be outside of Ukraine's borders, including Crimea?
So, first and foremost, we always have said that it is important that we help Ukrainians fight as we speak. Why? Because one day there will be a negotiation table. One day there will be a diplomatic solution to this war, as in any war. And so that's why we need to be able to continue to support Ukrainians, to increase eventually also their how can I say, their leverage at the negotiation table. And that's why the counteroffensive that is happening right now is so important.
You say when conditions allow and when the war
For sure,
ends.
she's never said. That's actually, like Stu, like you're saying, that's the first time I've heard anyone in our government say, like, of course it's going to end with a negotiated settlement. That's the first time I've heard anyone say that. The idea that she's like, I've been saying all along. You certainly have not, actually. What you've been telling people in Ukraine is, we're going to give you all the weapons you need until you defeat the Russians and they leave your country forever. You certainly have not ever said that. There's been a lot of like officials either misspeaking or saying true things by accident lately. Like with the other guy yesterday. We believe this has been a strategic error for Ukraine. And then the clapping seals and stenographers in the media pool are like, don't you mean it's a strategic failure for Russia? Oh, of course. A strategic failure for Ukraine. My mistake. We have always said this. 1980. Yeah, it is 1984. Has she apologized and backtracked? That's a good question. That is a good question. I have never heard anyone say that it's going to end in a negotiated settlement. Here's another one.
How do you
Is it a war crime to use cluster munitions?
So, yeah. Sorry,
Concernant la réaction de la Russie, déjà, là, il y a le ministre Lavrov qui a dit ce matin que...
Is it a war crime to use cluster munitions?
So, yeah. Sorry.
No. Let's not go down that road. I simply ask because the media has created an environment aided by the Ukrainian fascist organization where it's impossible for anyone to get real. Well, yeah, well, that's what I mean. Like, it's incredible and it's very bold to be saying, like, of course we've said all along that it's going to end. And I feel like the fact that they're saying that kind of thing, that, oh yeah, of course it's going to end with a negotiated settlement, it does seem like they're prepping to kick Ukraine to the curb, right? With basically saying that you're not going to be part of NATO until the war is over. And then signaling that, yeah, there's going to be some kind of negotiation at some point after like this nonstop flow of arms is run dry. And like I was saying, they're filling in that kind of gap with cluster munitions and like deadly weapons like that. It does seem like they're signaling that a pivot is coming. Now that the whole counteroffensive went nowhere, that obviously Ukraine wasn't ready for or armed for, that they got forced into it, which accomplished nothing. The little Wagner coup thing was a little brief ray of sunlight for these people where they thought there might actually be some kind of success story. Even though that if that had happened, it probably would have not been a success at all. And there were so many people when that was going on, that Wagner thing, they were bragging like, oh, I was told Russia was winning this war and Ukraine was losing. Oh, believe. And like, they were like bragging about the fact that like, oh, Putin's going to be overthrown now. And then immediately after one day it gets shut down and all these people just like went right back on as if nothing had happened. Ukraine is ripe for getting kicked to the curb because Ukraine has already eradicated all labor laws and brought in IMF-friendly laws. So the sooner the war ends, the sooner they can get to exploiting the land, and the less territory they have to give to the Russians. That's right, and they can give big, juicy contracts for rebuilding whatever parts of the country needs to be rebuilt by these Western private companies. Isn't BlackRock already buying Ukraine real estate and shit? I believe so, yeah. I believe so. Cluster munitions painted red, white, and blue, good. Cluster munitions painted white, blue, and red, war crime. That's right. BlackRock got handed the contract already. Yeah, and like we were saying, they're training all their civil servants and people in the government to speak English so they can communicate with their masters. With their Western masters that now own the country, even more so than they did already. Hugh Zelensky driving a Tesla through the McDonald's drive-thru. Well, it'd be funny where all the gusanos go to Florida. It'd be funny if Zelensky ended up in Canada. He moves to Canada, moves to Alberta to join the Ukrainian diaspora there. It'd fit right in. You know who I feel like I look like right now? The like Russian computer programmer guy from GoldenEye. Boris Grishenko. I think that's who I look like right now. Okay. And I know Dan Simpson was like, had a bunch of these guys, the NAFO guys. Yeah, there's a, yeah, Horst was tweeting about this. At the NAFO convention, they sold a NAFO scarf for 8,888.88 euros. That's kind of interesting, isn't it? I wonder why. I wonder what's significant about that number. Like, they're just flaunting it. Even after all the shit about the founder of NAFO came out about how he was an actual Nazi and this anti-Semitic gamer from Poland that was making all their precious little NAFO avatars. And they were like, no, he was reformed. He doesn't think that stuff anymore. It's not like that anymore. This is not a Nazi thing. It very clearly is a Nazi thing. It very clearly is. And again, if you're one of these people that's like trying to walk the line between saying, of course I need to support Ukraine and their sovereignty and democracy, and of course we need to continue to arm and fund Ukraine, but I don't want to have anything to do with this. Sorry, you're connected to them. I don't make the rules. You are. You're on the same side. I'm sorry to say. Yeah, there's progressives going to the ground for these idiots, is what I mean. Sorry, 888.88 euros. And where are these guys? Dan collected so many of these. Behind every fella is a real person who believes in Ukraine's victory. These are the people we're dealing with here.
The war that they're waging. I'd just like to go back to this whole thing, to this finishing in Ukraine, right? Even if they pull out and stop the war that they're waging, there won't be peace, in Europe at least, until there is nothing left but a crater, right? I'd just like to go back to this whole thing.
Cool, yeah, and again, most liberals agree with that as well. Even if they pull out of Ukraine, which obviously they're not going to. Keep taking the war to Russia until it's nothing left but a crater. reminds me of something from the past. This is the creator of NAFO. This former neo-Nazi that created that helped create NAFO. This gentleman. This fine gentleman. I thought they were just sweet dog avatars. Exactly. And you've got the Prime Minister of fucking Estonia giving these guys shout-outs. Didn't they say the war won't be over till Ukraine gets Crimea back? Yeah, many people have said that, which of course is just not going to happen, ever. That is not ever going to happen. The more they tell us over and over that behind every Twitter account is a real person, I begin to think there isn't a real person behind every account. Oh, I'm sure many of them are just coming from fucking a troll farm somewhere. Maybe even in Estonia itself. Behind every fella is a real person who believes in Ukraine's victory. Here's another fella. I don't know, man. They're all posting face. Oh yeah, she's very intimidating. These are the keyboard warriors. The unpaid interns of NATO and Western intelligence. What a sad group of people. Look at these fucking people. Jesus. I can't believe they thought this reveal was a good idea. I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking. I don't know, folks. Son spent his parents' life savings 45K on in-game content. Is that what is that a real thing, or is that just something you're saying to like make fun of someone? The first time learning for this. Well, congratulations going this far without never hearing about some of these folks. The founder did give a shout out to John Cipher, friend of the stream, John Cipher. I remember when the bridge to Crimea was bombed and people were celebrating the murder of Russian civilians on the bridge. And I was like, maybe it's not a good idea to be arming and funding these people that are doing this and celebrating this. It's never come back to haunt us in the past. And all these fucking NAFO people were coming after me saying I love genocide and everything. I love literal Nazis accusing you of being a genocide supporter. That's always fun. That's always very fun. Great stuff. Is there like a highlight of this? Oh my god, it's 5 hours long. It's 5 hours long. Here's a short version. Imagine watching the entire 5-hour NAFO summit stream. That's really something else. music is kind of working for me a little bit.
Ukraine buy as many weapons as possible. Just a hilarious afternoon.
Honorary fella, I want to send my greetings to you and wish you the most base NATO summit possible. As I've said before, the address.
This is grim. I don't understand why these people, if they care so much about this, didn't join the Ukrainian Foreign Legion. Like they're just typing online and going after the Vatniks and Russian disinformation or whatever. Why didn't you join? If you really care about defending and protecting Ukraine, why don't you join the Ukrainian Foreign Legion? You can go out and shoot at the Vatniks yourself. An actual world leader acknowledging NATO is grim. There's a NATO congressman as well. But yes, it's extremely grim. The Prime Minister of Estonia, very real country Estonia. As an honorary fella, oh my god. Just take off and nuke the entire site from orbit. How about that? Adam Kissinger, that's right. Are the armchairs comfier than Ukraine? Ukrainian winters suck. Yeah, especially when you're engaged in a fucking bloody struggle in the dirt against these in this like barbaric trench warfare that you have demanded continue and escalate and escalate and escalate. You know, if you're going to sit there and demand that these regions just get turned into an increasing war zone, I think if that's what you want so badly, I think you should go over and spend some time there yourself, personally. Think about that screenshot from Ethan Hawke's First Reformed as he's trying on the vest. I haven't seen that movie. I feel like I need to see that. Lithuanian Foreign Minister Gabrielis Landsbergis himself attended the NATO summit. Lithuania, who's like destroying their own economy by trying to sanction China, and China's just being like, okay, well, fuck you then. If you're getting shot at, just crawl into an epic German Leopard tank. They're indestructible, yeah. Hello, ML Thoughtism. Donate now. What are you donating to? What are you donating to? And you're donating to fucking NATO. Like, is that money at least going to, like, refugees or something? Or is it just going to, like, getting javelins? Or just going into hand of some corrupt warlord? Or this anti-Semitic gamer guy to buy more, like, in-game purchases? Funding the meme warfare. Yeah.
And I've seen people complain about that.
Okay, so I saw an image of this guy with the hat. He's wearing a propeller hat. And in all honesty, I saw the image and I thought someone had photoshopped that in to make NATO look stupider. To be like, to do like a parody of like, oh, this is what the real NATO looks like. But no, he's actually sitting there. He's actually wearing that hat. I actually didn't realize that. Was that a giant pot of chili? No, it's borscht. It's borscht to celebrate the death of Stalin. Stalin, who, like him or not, did, in fact, play a large role in protecting all of these fake countries in Eastern Europe from the threat of fascism, which obviously all these people support. Yeah, he's literally wearing this propeller hat, though. I genuinely did think that was a joke. I thought that was like a Photoshop to make fun of NATO, but he's just wearing that. I'm telling you, man, it's a deep state Zoomer limited hangout. I mean, when you have John Cipher and people from the CIA being part of it, then yeah, that should give an indication of what's going on there. Stalin wouldn't let a single one of the people attending this event walk out alive. Complimentary. Just reading the chat. Obviously, I would never co-sign a horrible notion like that. The CIA guy's name is John Cipher. That's right. Yeah, John Cipher of the CIA. Like, it's just beyond parody. It's beyond parody. Let's make it through the rest of this. This is so hard to look at. Look at this. This is Jessica Berlin. Jessica Berlin. Security and geopolitics. I've misspent years in all these places. Capital Germany. Just a fascist sympathizing German that hates the Russians. Nothing to see here. What is this room that it's in, too? Jesus Christ.
This is some guy, Rob Russo, some leftist based in Canada. I was turned on to this sick individual, and I found this.
What do we got here? Benny. Benny, thank you for the raid. Hello, welcome. Welcome, Raiders. Benny, did you change your name? Is this the official Benny rebrand now? Benny.gay. We love Benny, folks. Thank you for the raid, Benny. It's the dolls. The dolls have shown up, folks. It's a doll raid. We got a doll raid here. We're just making fun of this NAFO summit. This NAFO thing is one of the most grim spectacles that I've ever seen in my fucking life. How was your stream today, Benny? And everyone, hello, I'm Rob. First of all, I'm Rob. It's nice to see you. Hello. Thanks for joining the stream. Please smash the follow button. Very helpful. It would be very helpful if you're watching this right now and you're not following the channel, just hit that follow button. If you just did that, it costs nothing. It's very easy to do, and it's very helpful. And I appreciate it a lot. And you have to smash the follow button in order to participate in the chat, in order to answer the next question that I have for you, which is, can you please rate my fit? On a scale of your choosing. What do you think? Ultimate Diaper says 7 out of 10. Okay. A little harsh. A little harsh. I mean, I guess I appreciate the honesty. I suppose. 10 out of 10 Ski BB toilets. Oh, good. Good. Okay, we got a number of. So I'm good. This seems like a conflicting message here. He says, Baby Gravy says fits great. 7 out of 10. Would be 10 with a black tee and cuffed sleeves. Okay. I just don't like Hawaiian shirts. Okay, well, that's fair. That's fair, Ultimate Diaper. That's fair. I'd take a 7. I mean, I guess 7 is still pretty good. I guess I shouldn't be complaining. I shouldn't ask people an honest question and then get mad when they're honest about it. That's not very fair, is it? That's not very fair. Just leaving room in the scale for your future 10 out of 10 outfits. That's okay. Thank you, Sid Chow. Thank you. You're still a handsome man. Thank you, Ultima Diaper. I appreciate that. I have a bold print. It's nice. I got a couple of these shirts. I got to get a couple more funky shirts, I think. We'll provide blowjob for subscription. Any takers? I don't know if that's totally necessary. I mean, I don't want to speak for anyone else, but I'm sure someone could gift a sub without any of those kind of preconditions. Unless they're into, like, if they're into it, then okay. You know, I guess I'm not gonna tell anyone how to live their lives. See, now no one's gonna want to gift a sub because then they'll be like, well, now it's like a sex thing, you know? Now no one can do it. Although I will say, folks, I guess it's as good a time as any to point out that, you know,
you can count on me. You're gonna have good old Rob to talk you through all this.
We're going on almost 2 hours here of the stream, so I will say, if you enjoy this program, if you enjoy the commentary and the discussion, even if you don't know about this show and you just like my shirt and you like my fit and you think I'm someone that feels you should support here on Twitch.tv, if you want to join the community, which is Twitch's only two-dimensional triangle-shaped friendship access and trickle-down clout tiered reward system, folks. It is the only such system that exists on this entire platform. And with a small, simple donation of $5 a month, or completely free of charge with an Amazon Prime account, which you can very easily convert to an Amazon.
You can count on me. You're gonna have
Prime,
good old Rob
Twitch
to
Prime
talk you through all
gaming
this.
sub or something like that. If any of that sounds appealing to you, please subscribe to the channel. I really appreciate it a lot, and every little bit helps a whole lot. Demon Gone Good, thank you for gifting a sub to Pavlov's Devil Dog. Thank you, Demon Gone Good. Thank you to Diego as well for the 2 gifted subs. Thank you to Diego. And if anyone else is maybe confused about, you know, what it is that I do over here, what this community is about, I do have, now that I'm taking a little short break here, I do have a little onboarding video that I can show to people.
We simply use the computer to mark up the size of the account.
So folks, if you're curious at all about the community, if it's your first time joining the channel and you want to consider supporting this community or joining this wonderful, dynamic, incredible, life-changing community,
good old Rob
please,
to
if you
talk
can,
you through all this.
Subscribe to TRRS. And what is TRRS? What's the community about? What's the friendship triangle system about? Well, if you have that kind of question, this video will explain it to you. And thank you, Pavlov's Devil Dog, for the 100 friend coin. And thank you to Twitchy Bite as well for the 8 months of Tier 1. Hype Train on the horizon as well. If you're curious about the community or what it's about, you can watch this video. And I'm sure if you have any questions, it's going to be answered right here. Here we go.
Thank you for expressing interest in the Friendship Triangle community. We would be thrilled to have you on board as a member of our exclusive platform. As you may know, the Friendship Triangle is Twitch's only two-dimensional, triangle-shaped, friendship access and trickle-down clout tiered reward system. Today you have an amazing opportunity to join the base level of the Friendship Triangle system. Once you are part of the community, you'll have the ability to rise through the ranks and achieve higher levels of access and rewards. One way to do this is by gifting subscriptions to your fellow members or by inviting your friends and family members to join our community. As you ascend the tiers, you will be exposed to a range of new and exciting benefits, such as exclusive content, advanced features, and access to our elite community members. We are confident that you will enjoy all the perks that come with being part of the Friendship Triangle. However, we also want to remind you that not all friends and family members are to be trusted, especially those who may not support your new lifestyle.
Toxic.
That's why we encourage you to focus on building meaningful relationships within our community, where you will find like-minded individuals who share your interests and values. If you have any questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to reach out to our team. We are always here to support our members and ensure that your experience with the Friendship Triangle is enjoyable. We're glad that you are considering joining the Friendship Triangle community.
You've just
we look
become an elite
forward to
member
seeing you
of
rise
the
through the
Friendship
Chaos
Triangle.
Zone and all the way into the elite tier. It's not a cult.
So it does, in case you were concerned about this being like a cult of some kind, it does clearly outline in the end there that it isn't. So that's not something that you need to worry about. Thank you so much to Squatch Drew for the 5 gifted subs. Truly an elite member of the Friendship Triangle community. And that's what I would say, folks. That's what I would say. You know, it's like you can tune into this program and you might say to yourself, you know, God, it must be really difficult to become an elite member of the Friendship Triangle system. I just got here. I just got here. How am I, like, I can't become an elite member of this exclusive, exciting, and dynamic community? That must be really difficult. That must require a huge time investment or a financial investment. And I'm here to tell you right now, it doesn't. It's actually really easy. You can go right up to the elite tier right away with a gift of 5 subs or above. Instantly puts you right past the base level, right past the chaos zone, right into that elite tier of the Friendship Triangle system. That is where, of course, the patented trickle-down clout is the most concentrated. That's the beauty of the triangular shape of the system, right? When you're in the top, that's where the clout is the most concentrated, folks. That's when you really get it. You really get the benefits. The triangle Rob re-education system. Or yeah, the TRRS show. The Rob Russo show.
You've just become an elite member of the Friendship Triangle.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I get it now. It's a 2-dimensional triangle-shaped trickle-down clout system. Exactly. See how easy it is to grasp? That's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it. Thank you very much, Worldly Bong, for the 5 gifted subs as well. That's very kind of you. Thank you for that. I really appreciate that. And if there's another image that you want to see that, like, if you're still not sure about what the community is about, I think this can also help you out. This can also help you to understand. And I think it's pretty self-explanatory. You know, I don't know if I need to go into a long-winded explanation about this.
You can count on me. You're going to have good old Rob to talk you through all this.
Rob. Thank
you, John McCain's Ghost, for the 27 months, tier 2. You're cashing in that free money you found on your fishing the other day. That was a cool story. How do you get into the chaos zone? Okay, well, I thought it was pretty self-explanatory, but I can explain it a little bit more. Tails and Wings says definitely not a pyramid scheme. Pyramids are 3D objects, and triangles, obviously 2D. See, I love how people can come right in here and instantly understand what this is about. It's very clearly 2-dimensional and triangle shaped. And it's not anything you need to be worried about, or, you know, it's not anything you need to be concerned with. I'm still out here, about to walk back to my car. That's awesome. Anyway, by gifting a sub, here's most people. Okay, most people are here in the bottom, in this the non-subscriber area. You know, they're on the outside looking in. And listen, I love the non-subscribers and the lurkers. I'm happy to have everyone that tunes into this channel, really. The problem is, though, when you're a non-subscriber or a lurker, you're not getting really the benefits of being part of the community, okay? So when you subscribe, that gets you into that base level. A subscription gets you right into the base level of the Friendship Triangle system. And by gifting subs, that's how you move up throughout the different tiers. So, as you can see, gifting 5+ subs, that puts you in that elite level. That puts you in the elite tier of the Friendship Triangle system, but gifting anywhere between 1 and 5 puts you in the chaos zone. And listen, some people thrive there. Some people absolutely thrive in that chaos zone. And if that's where you enjoy being, all the power to you. No problem there. It's not a pyramid scheme, because pyramid schemes are for losers. I'm not a loser. If I was in a pyramid scheme, I would be a loser. Checkmate. Exactly. Listen, there's nothing more sick. There's nothing more sick and twisted to me as anyone that would, you know, take advantage of the way the people's isolation and alienation that they're feeling in this like collapsing economic system, this decaying society, and take advantage of that to create some kind of like sick apocalyptic cult that they themselves benefit from. Nothing makes me more sick than to think about people.
You can count on me. You're gonna have good old Rob to talk you through all this.
I would behave that way. It's disgusting to me. Disgusting. And that's one thing you know about me, is that I would never do anything like that. Diego, thank you for another gifted
You can
sub.
count on me. You're gonna have good old Rob to talk you through all this.
And thank you, Ultima Diaper. Look at that, right into the chaos zone.
You can count on me. You're gonna have good old Rob to talk you through all this.
Ultima Diaper, thank you so much for the 2 gifted subs. Welcome to the chaos zone. You're there. And thank you, Diego, for another gifted sub. I really appreciate that, Diego. So do you have any other takers? I know Benny's streamers want to come and actually look at like someone talking about something that's interesting and not this, but I do have to take a few moments every day to do this whole bit. Not that it's a bit, I do take it seriously as well. We will get back to talking about serious, important discourse like the NAFO summit any moment. Pyramid schemes are absolutely predatory and disgusting, which is why it's so easy to accept the 2D triangle system, because it's 2D and not a pyramid, and it does work. You get it. Baby gravy. You're new to the community and you already get it. You're already absolutely crushing it. I love it. Thank you so much, Diego, for the gifted subs and for all the support. Seriously. I just feel like doing some targeted friendship triangleness toward the cool new people in chat. We absolutely love it. Thank you so much, Diego. So do we have any other takers, folks? Do you have any other takers? Do any other... Listen, if you want to change your life, and being in this community will change your life, I'll tell you that much. Just listen to friends in the community like Mac at work. New community members. Your life will be changed for the better by joining this community. And the first step in making a major life change is just making that first move. You know? You have to make the decision. I want my life to be better. You know, it starts with something simple. It starts with an act of courage. And if you're scared, it's okay to be scared. It's okay to be scared. You can't be brave without being scared. These pyramid truthers are off in their own world. I know. Jeez. You can't be brave without being scared, folks, and you can't take the first step towards changing your life without being brave. Fortune favors the brave, as I often say. As I often say, folks. So remember, it's $5 per month, with $5 per month, which is barely anything at all. And if you have an Amazon Prime account, it's free. It's joining a life-changing community, totally free of charge. Totally free. If you have Amazon Prime, it's already. Just need to click a little button. That's all. That's all you need to do. Doesn't that sound nice? Doesn't that sound like something you want to do?
You can count on me. You're going to have good old Rob to talk you through all this.
The Biden whisper. I'm not kidding, folks. It's the only way you can pay for it. Diego, thank you. You don't need to apologize. Please don't apologize for supporting this channel. Believe me, it's much appreciated. It's the way of the future. It's the way of the future.
You've just become an elite member
of
the Friendship Triangle.
Oh my goodness, Brian. Hell yeah, another wonderful streamer that people should be following. Lennon
You can
Smash.
count on me. You're going to have good old Rob to talk you through all this.
Give your money to Rob, not Bezos.
Lennon Smash, thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs. That's so kind of you. Thank you. And everyone, please give Lennon Smash a follow as well. And as well as DRP50. Thank you for the 25
count on me.
months.
You're going to have good old Rob to talk you through all this.
Clout, clout, clout.
Thank you, DRP, for that. And thank you also to Cauldron of Bats for 7 months of tier 1. Thank you, Cauldron of Bats. Now we're talking. Now we're cooking. And look at that, folks. We're at 30 out of 35 subs. Just one. This is the amazing opportunity that's in front of some people right now. Just one hero, just one brave hero, could not only get the show to the sub goal for today, but could instantly rocket right up to the elite level of the Friendship Triangle system. That's a win-win. That's a win-win situation. Join amazing community members like Brian, aka Lennon Smash, in the elite tier. Brian, I was happy to give you my monthly Bezos bucks. Happy to do it. Capri Sun and bong rips. Who doesn't like that? What kind of a monster are you if you don't enjoy that? Okay. Well, I will continue working on those last 5 subs. But thanks everyone for supporting the channel. Thank you for Benny's Raiders who stuck around. You know, it's not always that exciting to raid into a channel, and instead of talking about like important or interesting things, it's just like, hey, look at my crazy 2-dimensional triangle-shaped community that you can join, you know? But I gotta do it, you know? I just gotta do it. I gotta funnel money upwards to talk about a fucking pyramid scheme. I gotta funnel money upwards to literally the richest man in the world as part of my day job. Is Bezos the richest man in the world? It was Musk, but now I don't think it is Musk anymore. Is it Bezos by default now? If it's any consolation, Twitch isn't profitable. No, it isn't. It's not any consolation. It absolutely is not. Okay. I don't think we need to look at the NAFO Summit stuff anymore. I took so much psychic damage just from that. There is another just 30 seconds here. I don't know. Do we need to see that? I don't really think so. I just realized we work for him. Well, that's not exactly accurate, Brian. We don't work for him. We're independent contractors that funnel money upwards to him while getting we don't get a salary or benefits or sick time or like any of those things that, vacation time. Any of those things that you usually get when you do work for someone. This doesn't sound any better. It sounds worse, actually. Yeah. No, it sounds much worse. Okay. Okay, what are we doing next here? I got about another hour to go. Here. I might take just like a brief 5-minute break just to like stretch my legs and get a brief moment of sunshine. Recharge a little bit. Man, I fucking hate that JJ McCulloch guy. That guy gets so many views on YouTube, and he's such a loser. I'm just scrolling YouTube, and I'm seeing his annoying thumbnails and his massively high view counts. God. The absolute worst people get footholds on these platforms. It's so annoying. Anyway. So don't go anywhere, folks. Okay, I'm just going to take a short break. I'll take a short break to go for like 5 minutes. I'm going to come back. We can hang out for another hour. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. North of Cuba says, I'm sorry to tell you the bad news, but communism will never win. Never has and never will. The only time it ever succeeds is when violence is forced upon its citizens. That's funny because north of Cuba, it's weird because after decades, after like 70 years, socialism is alive and well in Cuba, despite the world's greatest imperial power. The world's greatest imperial power embargoing and threatening and blockading to try and destroy them, to try and destroy their socialist society. Lo and behold, it's still standing strong. That seems like it's doing pretty well to me. It seems like it did kind of win in that case. You're saying Cuba is flourishing? Cuba is flourishing despite having the world's greatest imperialist power stepping on their fucking necks for the last 70 years. And they still have people that are able to get an education. They still have people that are able to get health care. Do you think average people in Cuba were like thriving under the Batista dictatorship prior to the socialist system? When people were dying of starvation and fucking living in the mountains with nothing, with no access to medical care, no literacy, no ability to see a doctor? Yeah, people are thriving compared to that. I'm from Cuba. Yeah, I'm sure you are. I'm sure your fucking grandpa's from Cuba. It probably was like one of these like Batista era police chiefs or something like that, or plantation owners. You know what? I'm glad Fidel put your grandpa in the blender. Actually, I think it's funny to me that Fidel did that. He ran casinos in Havana. You're not. You're joking. You're trolling, aren't you? You're not being serious. You're not being serious. Okay. Well, I'm glad Fidel put your grandpa in the blender. What can I say? Take care. That is a good bit. Fidel stole my casinos. Whether that person's being serious or doing a bit, you know, it was entertaining and enjoyable to me. He got dunked on by Mike from PA just to get cooked here. I think he might have a humiliation fetish. I guess so. Yeah, it's one of those guys that who knows why they get up to this kind of stuff. Who knows why they get up to this kind of stuff?
Stalini, τι διαδανειανίγο. Però σαν τάχο σάμδα, შენ ბაბუას.
No, ისი იქნებოდა, ხო?
That man is really an inspiration to me. That's really an inspiration to me. For too long, I think people in like that called themselves like part of the left or whatever in Canada or the United States, when someone said Stalin shot my grandfather, they'd say, "Oh, but no, that's terrible, and I don't agree with that, and I just want socialism because I want to do this, but I don't." Incoherent. You gain nothing by trying to appease people that make this argument. You gain nothing, and you give them everything when you say this. You literally disavow the whole political system that you claim to believe in. That's not a selling point. Why would people respect you? Why would people respect you when you literally agree with them about all their critiques about the economic system that you claim to support? You know? We need to take our cue from Stalin Grandpa. Your grandpa deserved it. I'm sorry to say. No notification today. I'm sorry to hear that, Goth Engel Sinner. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear that. It seems to be like it's basically a crapshoot whether people get a notification when I go live or not. I do think being in the Discord helps that, though. Although even that, I'm not even sure. That trot I talked about yesterday was crying in my DMs about how bad the purges were and highlighted a general that got purged who was anti-Semitic. And I was like, no, I think they're good, actually. You have to do it. Like, you can't play this game with people. You just really can't. Happy to join. Yeah, Goth Angle Center, please join the Discord server. And I would say that to anyone that's watching that's new to the community, or even if you're not new to the community but you're not in the Discord server, there's so much fucking great shit going on in that Discord server. Especially two things: the Theory Club, led by our
This is some
VIP,
guy, Rob Russo, some
Red
leftist
Scary.
based in Canada. I was turned on to this sick individual, and I found this.
Hello, Majority Report. Hello, Majority Report. Let me just get this off the screen. Just watching something else that's unrelated. Unrelated. Majority Report, thank you for the raid. Hello, welcome. I'm Rob. Thank you for joining us. Please hit the follow button. Please hit the follow button. Really quick. I just need to check something. I need to check to see if this works. It would really help me if you just press the follow button really quick just so I can see something. I'm trying to do something here. Not if you're already following, of course. I need the Sigma tips. We don't need to worry about that right now,
You
okay?
can count on me. You're going to have good old Rob to talk you through all this.
We don't need to worry about that. Don't worry about it. What was on there? Thank you, Newman, for the 23... Oh, my goodness. 23 months of Tier 1 from Mobile Newman. Very, very close. Very, very close to the 24-month glimmering, shimmering, golden 24-month TRRS sub badge. So close. Achingly close. Agonizingly close. And thank you, yeah. Shimmering piss badge. Not a piss badge. Anyway, how was the Majority Report stream today? I hope it was great. I think that's 3 days in a row I've got the Majority Report raid. What a lucky boy I am. Look at me. What a lucky boy. How was the stream today? How was the Majority Report today? Sam Sater, what a fucking nightmare. And follow-up question, what do you think of my fit? New chatters, rate my fit. What do you think? What do you think about this? Is this working for you? Sound off in the comments. Hot or not? Is that a Gucci shirt? No, it's not Gucci. No. Rob's on island time. No. No, it is not Gucci. What's the undershirt is an Expos thing. I am from Montreal. Quebec, Canada. It's very dad on Hawaiian vacation. Okay. I mean, kind of, yeah. It's a Wyatt Coke original. That's right. Yes. Some of those Wyatt Coke shirts are kind of fire, though. Let's be real here. Rob es muy cool con su camisa tropical. That's right. That's absolutely correct. Yeah, it's probably the least bad Coke. It's true. Yeah, just give him something to do. He's not harming anybody. Although I'm sure the shirts are being mass produced in some kind of horrific sweatshop somewhere, but I learned from Insurgents Pod that Montreal no longer has a baseball team. I know. It's upsetting. It's upsetting. I miss the Expos. It's been like 20 years. I went to a couple games when I first moved here. Is Threads better than Twitter yet? I would say no, it isn't, because the algorithm is entirely like your feed is entirely algorithmically driven. You can kind of impact it by following people or whatever, but there's no way to like have just like a chronological feed of like people that you follow. So there's all kinds of weird brands and shit that's getting put into your feed. I don't know how it gets there. I think my kind of main takeaway was that, like, you know, if you're in independent media, or you're into doing this kind of commentary or talking about the news or politics or whatever, I guess it's good to be on there, because that's where the people are. And I think sometimes if you want to like get your message out there, you got to go to where the people are. And people are there, but I think overall I'm not crazy about it so far. The only way to find out which one is truly superior is for the cage match to go ahead. I agree with that. I want to see that. I don't think that I would purchase that on pay-per-view. I would definitely watch it and pirate it, though. You know? I'm not going to pay like $30 or whatever to see the highlights of Zuckerberg choking out Elon Musk, but I'll definitely watch it for sure. It was so annoying. Like, I'm genuinely annoyed. I'm genuinely annoyed seeing that picture of Zuckerberg. Hold on just one sec. Let me just put this here. We'll just chat. Let's just have a chat. Let's just have a chat. Where's that fucking picture? Do you know what I fucking hate, folks? Do you know what I hate? That Mark Zuckerberg, CEO of Meta and creator of Facebook, could absolutely kick my ass. I hate that. That's so annoying. I hate that Mark Zuckerberg is shredded now. What the hell? Yeah, I mean, I guess it makes sense if you have infinite money and a huge quantity of free time. Like, yeah, I get it, but I'll drop his ass with a single shot. I would maybe, like, that's the thing. I don't want to say he would for sure kick my ass. I would do the old throw sand in the face. Throw sand in the face and then go immediately for the groin. Immediately. I feel like that would be my main chance, my main opportunity. Pocket sand. Yeah, there we go. Pocket fentanyl. Kick the shin. Dude, melt and reform. That's right. You punch him and it just gets absorbed. Like the T-1000. The funniest thing about Ripped Zuck is that when Elon proposed a cage match, literally his mom stepped in to tell him no. I'm still holding out hope that it's going to happen. I think it's pretty beta if your mom has to step in and stop a fight from happening. And I don't think Elon's going to allow that to happen. Fly in here. Those big, fat, slow flies. It was Elon's mom stepped in and was like, no, this is not happening. We're not doing this. And I don't know, you know, and Zuckerberg is shredded now and he's trained and all this stuff. I'm a big guy, though. Like, what if I just kind of fell on him awkwardly? I could probably do a little damage. You know, I am kind of strong. I was showing off my pipes earlier. We don't need to go back down that road. I don't want to make anyone too intimidated by my huge muscles or anything. But, you know, I'm a big guy. What if I just fell on him awkwardly? I think I could give myself a good chance. Throw a banana peel at him. It totally looks like someone that would slip on those. That's a good idea. Yeah. Rob versus Zuck Goose cage fight. Rob versus Zuck versus Goose cage fight. It's a 3-way dance. The thing is, I would have a great strategy for that because I would let Zuck and the Goose go at each other, and I would bide my time in the corner there. And then when they were both worn out, that's when I would swoop in. Got to go to the 5-point exploding heart technique. Yes. Yes. I don't think Mark has the hate and anger in him, Rob. No, he just seems like he has this kind of like can come in an unflinching android, like almost like he would like snap the tendons in your arm just to like feel the sensation or something. Not even out of anger or hatred or anything like that, just so we could feel the sensation of all the bones and the tendons snapping. He's got the red vision with the little target reticule going over on the screen and everything. Would you rather face one Zuck-sized duck or 100 duck-sized Zucks? That's an interesting question. I always go with the tiny Zucks or tiny ducks. I feel like there's no limit to like tiny creatures that I could easily defeat. That's always seems like a weird question to me. Could you defeat these like 100 tiny creatures? Yeah, absolutely. Of course I could. Easily. Like Donald Gibb in Bloodsport. He said he was naming his child after President Xi to get access to the market. Zuck did? My respect for him just grew a tiny little iota. I would do the same thing, actually. There's no way I could take on 100 ducks. Of course you could. It'd be easy. Get tired. It's fine. It's fine. I could do it. Anyway, it's shredded Zuckerberg is just an image that just haunts me now. Just haunts me. I'd probably rather take on the giant duck. I feel like that would just be asking for trouble. Y'all are forgetting about Jurassic Park and those tiny little badasses, but they have like poison bites though. They have like venom. They have like venom when they do their little bites. What if the giant duck was nice? I would befriend the giant duck and ride it around as my steed, my faithful steed. Giant duck. How big is Zuck? I don't know. What is he, like 5'9"? I have no idea. Duckerberg. There we go. Nice. The duck steed. Classic Rob. Exactly. I come on the horizon at dawn of the third day. Look to the east. It's me with the sun in the background rising. Going on the big duck. It's not quite as majestic when you rear up. Musk wants to measure. He wants to measure something, that's for sure. Zuckerberg's 5'7", 154. So that's the thing. He's shredded, but I significantly outweigh and I'm bigger than him. I could use that to my advantage. He hasn't gotten the leg extension surgery yet. Yeah. Exactly. The old leg extension surgery. I feel, in all honesty, talking about that, I feel really bad for these dudes that are like 5'4" or even like 5'6", that are like fucking breaking their legs and reassembling them and lengthening their legs in this like torturous process so they can be like 5'10", 5'11". It's like, man, it's not so bad. It's not so bad being a short king. I don't know. You know, I don't want to criticize people for making decisions that they impact their life or their mental health, but like, fuck, it can't be that bad. We're not respecting our short kings enough, honestly. We're really not. We're getting people all kinds of crazy ideas about what they need to do to not be this size. Now, if I could get like a 9-foot tall blue avatar body, I mean, that would be pretty cool. I would do that if I could just use technology to put my consciousness inside a 9-foot tall blue avatar body. That I would do. Zuck has a weak jaw. A beefy right hook from Rob would deck him. You know what? I'm coming around on this. I think I could do it. I don't think I could do it like right now. Like if Zuckerberg showed up right now to do it, I think that would be a problem. But like, give me 6 weeks to train. Just 6 weeks. That's all. Get a little bit better cardio going, a little bit better shape. Then I feel like I would have an okay shot. When you challenge him, you got to cut a promo. And those 80s style warrior promos. He's behind me, isn't he? Zuckerberg is behind me, isn't he? Do you think you could hit a 100-mile-per-hour fastball? I mean, that's always one of the things that I always say, oh, of course I could, just because I know it annoys people. But objectively, I know that I could not. You know? I know that I could not. But because it's very frustrating for people that know about sports, sometimes it's funny to just be like, to arrogantly assume that you could do that. Or Marty, like if you got thrown into an NFL game as a quarterback and all you had to do was just gain 10 yards. If you had an entire game and everyone else on the offensive line and all the receivers and everybody else is an NFL caliber player, could you get 10 yards? I think I could. I think I could do it. Everyone else is normal and you have to gain 10 yards over the course of the whole game. Marty could do it. Okay, good. I think so too. I think I could do it. As a 5'4" girl with no muscle, absolutely. There we go. I love the attitude. I love the confidence. I love the confidence. Could I survive more than one kick coverage or kickoff sprint? No, I would die probably unless they ran the other way. That would probably not be very fun. I agree. Watching Johnny Knoxville take a punt return was illuminating. I don't think I ever saw that. I see field goal. Jim.
Hello, my name is Johnny Knoxville. Yeah.
This? Yeah. He should have caught that one too. He didn't even catch it. I could have caught it. I could have caught that. It is still prime television. It really does tap into something like. It does tap into something inside you, doesn't it?
This is some guy, Rob Russo, some leftist based in Canada. I was turned on to this sick individual, and I found this.
Stern42, thank you for the raid. Hello, Stern. What's up? The classic Stern raid. We love it. Racking up the raids, that's right. The harder pill for me to swallow is having played defense for so long, there's zero way with 100 snaps I could ever get a sack in the NFL. Yeah. Yeah, I think so, yeah. You got too many big boys in there. Too many big boys. Okay, what else do we got, folks? What else do we got? I got another 20 minutes to hang out. What else do you want to talk about? I think I covered all the serious political topics for today. I don't think that I have anything else on the docket, really. I posed the question on Blue Sky. If you had to pick a finishing move, what would you pick? Well, Marty, the finishing move that I had, like in the last wrestling game I played, like where I created the Rob Rousseau character, was it was a fucking great move, actually. It started off with the flare, like no, and then with the low blow. So that was the instant, like, that was the setup. He's no, and please no more. Low blow. And then it put him into is it like a emerald fusion? I think it was an emerald fusion. So it was like a coward, no, low blow into emerald fusion. And if I had to do a submission, I would do either a cross-face chicken wing or a Texas cloverleaf. That's what I would go with. Isn't it Emerald Flosion? Maybe. I think in the game, perhaps it was not named that properly in the actual game when you chose it. I don't think I have any recording of it, though, unfortunately. I only have the entrance of my character. I don't have the recording. I missed all the serious talk. Can you repeat all of it? Yes, I can. Yes, I can. We go back to the beginning. We'll go back to the beginning. So that's what, to answer your question. By the way, I think the guy that was like trolling us in the chat found me on Discord and just sent me a big image of a bunch of dead Russian people. So a really normal individual there. Very normal and well-adjusted individual. Jesus. Very charming. Exactly. Very charming. Most hinged Nafoer. Yeah, that's right. There we go. Are we the baddies? Yeah. He was in the Discord earlier and said some awful racist shit. Oh, good. Great. Weird. So he loves NATO, hates Russians, and is also a vile racist. Interesting. What a crazy coincidence. It's a weird 3 things for one person to be. Yes, it is. Yes, it very much is. So I don't know, do we have anything else to talk about? I kind of don't feel like we do. I guess I should stay for the next 17 minutes, though. I should stay till 3:30. I've been enjoying doing these a little bit longer streams. We're getting back up into the regular episode TRRS territory. It's cool he takes the time out of his busy schedule of being really cool and having sex with lots of women to drop by the Discord. Exactly. These fine folks. These fine individuals. What else is there for us to look at here? Let's take a look here. We got like 20 minutes of Trudeau at NATO. That's maybe like, I don't know, that's maybe a little bit too much. I don't know if I want to hear 20 straight minutes of that. Maybe we can just get a brief update.
Bonjour tout le monde. Good afternoon.
Hot mic.
This is a consequential moment for NATO, but also for the world. For 2 days, leaders have been focused on reinforcing NATO's strong defense of democracy. And NATO has been made stronger as we officially welcomed Finland and moved forward on Sweden's accession. Le fait d'être ici, dans un État balte, si près de la Russie, qui mène une guerre illégale contre un autre de ses voisins depuis plus de 500 jours, met en relief la très grande importance de notre défense collective. I arrived in the Baltics a day ahead of the summit and visited the Canadian Armed Forces in Latvia. While there, we made a historic announcement. We are renewing and expanding our contributions to Operation Reassurance. This includes increased financial and troop commitments that will scale up the Canadian-led NATO
Are there Canadians in Latvia? Who knows?
Brigade by 2026. Grâce à cet engagement de 2,6 milliards de dollars, on fait plus que doubler le nombre de femmes et d'hommes courageux des
They keep
forces
saying
armées
it's stronger. It makes me think that it's
déployés
kind of
dans
not
le
stronger.
cadre de
Exactly.
cet effort multinational.
They kept saying that
Le
Ukraine
Canada
was going to
s'est
win as long
mobilisé
as we kept
pour
giving them
diriger
enough
ses
weapons as well.
forces
That
sur le
doesn't seem
plan
to be the case
est
either.
de l'OTAN. On augmente actuellement nos effectifs parce qu'il faut absolument
Just like they keep saying it's an unprovoked, unjustified invasion. And the more they say it, the more that I think that maybe it was a little bit provoked.
Toute nouvelle agression de la part de la Russie. Canada has been stepping up in this region of Europe and providing significant support to Ukraine since Putin's annexation of Crimea. We've trained almost 40,000 Ukrainian military and security personnel through Operation Unifier. And I can announce today that through this operation,
I was told that, like,
officer cadets from Ukraine.
You're training 40,000 people. I was told that NATO had nothing to do with provoking the conflict, though. Doesn't training troops in Ukraine right on their border did that maybe contribute to provoking the conflict, possibly? Is that a possibility? I thought we weren't supposed to acknowledge that either.
At Royal Military College Saint-Jean for an intensive training program developed in partnership with NATO. For over 500
What are you training
days
these
now,
people to do, by the way?
Ukraine has withstood Russian brutalities.
It's defensive training.
Putin made a grave miscalculation He underestimated Ukrainians' courage, and he underestimated the strength of the West's solidarity and resolve. Today, the G7
what resolve? That
came
we haven't
together
helped
to
them.
announce our
All we've done is
enduring support of
prolonged the
Ukraine's
fucking
defense
chaos and violence. That's all
launched
we've
a
done.
process to provide long-term, multi-year commitments to their security. Ukraine is fighting to make sure that borders, their own or anywhere else around the world, mean something, that might does not make right. This announcement gives Ukraine the certainty of our support as it protects its citizens, its sovereignty, and its territorial integrity. For support in the more immediate term, we will be providing drone cameras, delivering on a request Ukraine made when I visited Kyiv just a few weeks ago in June. On a également signé une entente avec d'autres alliés pour fournir une formation sur les F-16 aux forces aériennes ukrainiennes. On fournit aussi une aide à la cybersécurité et un financement supplémentaire à l'appui de l'ensemble complet de mesures d'assistance. À ce jour, le Canada a fourni plus de 8 milliards de dollars en soutien militaire, financier et humanitaire à l'Ukraine. On va soutenir le peuple ukrainien aussi longtemps qu'il le faudra, car ils se battent non seulement pour leur liberté et leur démocratie, mais aussi pour les nôtres. Lors de ma rencontre avec le président Zelensky aujourd'hui, j'ai réaffirmé encore une fois le soutien indéfectible du Canada à l'Ukraine. The world is facing many serious challenges, and we must remain ready to respond, no matter what form they take. Climate change is one of these challenges. As Canada deals with its own impacts of climate change, with ongoing wildfires across the country that are particularly...
You know, it would be good to deal with climate change is not constantly antagonizing China, you know? And like maybe deepening our diplomatic ties with China rather than pushing them further away and constantly antagonizing them and accusing them of interfering in our democracy. Perhaps we could work with China in order to try and deal with some of the consequences of climate change or try and mitigate some of the future consequences of it. Maybe that would be a good strategy. Maybe it would be a good strategy to build some public infrastructure, such as high-speed rail, to mitigate the effects of climate change, which we have not done. It's honestly based that he's using the wildfires as an excuse to not pay our NATO tab if you don't think about it. Yeah, I'll take whatever we can get, Stu. I'll take whatever we can get. Yeah, not funneling money into militaries might help since giant war machines pollute a lot, as it turns out. That's right. Yeah, it does.
Particularly bad in British Columbia today, and our thoughts go out to people in BC, as well as significant flooding in parts of Quebec. We see
Trudeau annoys me, but Pierre Poilievre scares me. What will it take for the NDP to win? Maybe, like, I don't know, if the NDP could, like, stand for something, you know? Or stop trying to be a maybe slightly nicer liberal party. You know, I was talking before about, like, the big vision for the NDP with all the big, bold things that they could be fighting for. Their big vision is maybe means-tested dental care sometime this decade. That's the thing they're holding up as their big, like, progressive agenda. You know? Maybe calling to nationalize some of our natural resources or our telecom companies. Maybe calling for massive historic investments into public transit and high-speed rail. Not having this NDP loser mentality, yeah. I think those things would help. But I don't think they're going to be winning anytime soon. I mean, it's a very reactionary country. The only time the NDP came close to winning was when they tacked to the center and tried to replace the Liberal Party, and it almost worked under Jack Layton, you know? So, but I wouldn't recommend that the NDP did that because, like, if you tack to the center and become the new Liberal Party and you win, you haven't really accomplished all that much. You've changed the party in power and you've changed the kind of color of team that's in power, but nothing fundamentally has changed about our political or our economic system.
Events too, either floods in parts of northeastern United States, fatal mudslides in Japan, and dangerous heat waves in Italy. We're all going to need to be there for each other more and more, given the impacts of climate change. As a northern country, Canada understands well how something like a warming Arctic is reshaping the security landscape. On travaille avec l'OTAN pour mettre en place le Centre d'Excellence pour le Changement Climatique et la Sécurité.
They write OTAN because sometimes when you need, if you want to like do a live stream and the things get reversed and it gets flipped around like a mirror, so you have to write it backwards as well, so it makes sense when it gets flipped around. That's why they do that.
Plus tôt aujourd'hui, la ministre Anand a signé le document fondateur du centre qui ouvrira ses portes à Montréal plus tard cette année. En ce moment, on doit être clair sur le fait que la politique climatique est aussi une politique de sécurité, une politique économique et une politique sociale. En effet, lorsque Poutine a tenté de militariser l'énergie, les pays européens ont commencé à réduire leur dépendance à l'égard des combustibles fossiles russes et à se tourner encore plus rapidement vers les énergies propres. Alors que nos alliés effectuent cette transition,
I don't think that's right, but I don't know enough about mirrors to
à être
dispute
le
it, and that's a good attitude to
fournisseur
have
fiable
about it, I
d'énergie
think.
propre dont ils auront besoin. Emerging and disruptive technologies also pose a risk to global stability, and as such, Canada has taken a leadership role in bringing together promising startups and innovators to help
Startup
NATO
culture,
retain
drink.
its technological edge.
Startups,
We're doing
innovation,
this through contributions
disruption,
to the Defense
drink.
Innovation Accelerator for the North Atlantic, Diana. And we're proud that Halifax has been selected to house
That's
the
why you'll
North
commonly see
American
bricks as
office.
MTV's Cribs.
We're also making
Yes.
investments in our defense capabilities at home. Today, we announced a $450 million investment in our fleet of minor warships and auxiliary vessels.
This man is so
which
vain, if he were
includes
made of
vessels-
chocolate, he would eat
vessels
himself.
deployed as a part of Operation
Hilarious.
Reassurance.
Hilarious
This is part
jape,
of the national
sir.
shipbuilding strategy, which will help create jobs at small and medium-sized shipyards right across Canada. Le contexte de sécurité évolue rapidement à l'échelle mondiale et le Canada a réalisé des investissements transformateurs au cours des dernières années. Par exemple, on achète 88 avions de chasse F-35 et on a effectué des investissements majeurs pour améliorer considérablement les capacités canadiennes du NORAD pour soutenir la défense continentale de l'Amérique du Nord. I had the chance to speak and meet with leaders from many regions. As NATO came together to talk about Euro-Atlantic security, we also met with partners from the Indo-Pacific. We stand for the same thing.
I mean, to me, Elbob, like what you're saying, I think is a good point. You're talking about Layton and Canada's inherent racism and Jagmeet Singh. And listen, I think Jagmeet Singh's a good person. He seems like a nice guy, and I think he does have very progressive values compared to a lot of people in our political system. But it is somewhat crazy to me that he was elected leader in 2018, and it's been 5, almost 6 years, and they've had 2 disappointing election cycles, and even polling wise, like has the needle has never really moved on the NDP for 5 years. So like I don't know how much longer he can still like justify being leader of the party. Like there's been no real progress towards anything. Yeah, and maybe a few progressive initiatives like the dental care, like Stu was mentioning a possible deal on pharmacare that's coming down. Like maybe you could point to that. I mean, that's not nothing. But like, it doesn't seem like he's the guy to really galvanize people, because that's what they need, right? They need someone that's going to really speak to people's material conditions and galvanize people and get people excited about being part of the NDP and voting, not only voting for the NDP, but campaigning for them and knocking doors and that kind of stuff. And I just don't think he's that guy. He doesn't have the fire. He doesn't have the passion. He's too nice, honestly. And it's not a bad thing being nice, but I think you got to be tough. You got to be kind of mean if you really want to like get ahead. And he doesn't have that. He doesn't have that passion or that anger. People are really angry, especially young people, justifiably so. You know, they should be angry. And I think they want to see politicians up there saying like, fuck this, fuck all this shit. You know, get mad. There's so many things to be mad about. I'm mad. I'm fucking mad as hell, and I don't want to take it anymore. And I want someone in a political leadership position to reflect that. Not do this like, oh, I'm like a TikTok influencer. Oh, let's all be kind and generous to one another. No, I don't want to be kind and generous to everybody. I want to take everything that all these powerful people have and I want to take it away from them. How about that? Why don't we do that? I don't want to be nice. I don't want to be nice to these people. We've been nice for too long. It's gotten us nothing. This isn't Threads. Exactly. There's no room for twee kindness in here. You got to get tough. It's the most they've accomplished in a while. As a POC, I can confirm racism is a Canadian problem. Silent racism is worse than loud racism in my experience. I couldn't agree more. And that's the whole farce about Canada, is that we pretend that we're above all that when really we're a deeply racist and reactionary country. And it's almost more, like you're pointing out, it's almost more grotesque, the fact that we pretend that we're not like that, which we absolutely are. You got to get tough, folks. The NDP is not going to win until they get someone that's up there that's willing to call people out by name and get fucking tough with people. We have no compassion. We ask no compassion from you. When our turn comes, we'll make no excuses for the terror. They don't show us compassion, these people, these reactionaries, the capitalists and imperialists that own and operate our society. They don't show compassion towards us. Look at the way that they're expanding MAID in Canada rather than expanding any kind of program to help people deal with mental health care problems, rather than any kind of program that helps people's material conditions and their material needs. They're like, oh no, we'll just help you kill yourself. How about that instead? You think they show compassion towards us? I love Nikki, honestly, James. I think she's fantastic, but I don't think she's got the passion either. Anyway, enough of this. Enough of this. Folks, 4 subs away. 4 subs away from hitting the goal. It would be actually the 3rd day in a row that I hit the sub goal, which would be a very thrilling accomplishment for me. It would be a thrilling accomplishment. And we got a couple of new viewers and community members and lurkers in the stream today. So are there 4 brave heroes?
You can count on me. You're going to have good old Rob to talk you through all this.
Are there 3 brave heroes? Thank you, 2023, more like 1984, for the gifted sub. Are there 3 brave heroes? We canceled Prime. Sorry, no money. And that is fine. That is fine. And yeah, okay, so you got a gift sub. I'm happy to see that. Are there 3 brave heroes, folks, that want to step to the plate and support this channel and the community and the work that I do on here and get TRRS to the daily sub goal? I got to go in a minute to pick my kid up from camp, and I guess he's been kind of having a hard time the last couple of days, so don't want to leave him too long. It's just
you
3
can count
more,
on me.
folks.
You're gonna have good old Rob to talk you through all this.
Gone Wrong 3, thank you for the very first gifted sub in the channel. Thank you so much, Gone Wrong 3. Thank you for that. Very, very appreciate. Very, very much appreciated. The gift sub. Very first gift sub in the channel. Thank you, Gone Wrong. Chat, is there 2 more brave, heroic heroes?
You can count on me. You're gonna have good old Rob to talk you through all this.
Please drink a beer with it. I may just do that. I may just do that, indeed. Thank you, 2023, more like 1984, for another gifted sub as well. Sub so Rob can afford to take care of his son instead of sending him to camp. Well, he's got to go to camp during the day because mom and dad have to work. Folks, we're so close. We're so close. Who is the hero that's going to step to the plate and get us across the finish line? I went to Montreal once and all I remember was drinking until I blacked out and Poutineville. That sounds about right. That seems to be a lot of people's experiences on here.
You can count on me. You're going to have good old Rob to talk you through all this.
Jeremiah, thank you. Jeremiah, thank you for the gifted sub. Very much appreciate the gifted sub from Jeremiah on Twitch, and someone everyone else should follow as well. Thank you, Jeremiah. And thank you, everyone, for tuning in today and supporting the stream. Can't tell you how much I appreciate it. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I just got an ad for mayonnaise. They must not know I'm white and find mayo to be far too spicy. I'm a big fan of mayo, honestly. I mean, look at me. Look at me. Obviously, I do. Obviously, I do. Jesus Christ. Okay. What are we doing here? I wonder. Sometimes, just for like just as an experiment, just as like as an experiment, I find it funny to raid up and coming streamer. Up and coming little known streamer Hassan, I believe his name is. Just to see if it's even acknowledged. Just to see if there's any reference or acknowledgement whatsoever. It's French. Okay, you have to pronounce it with the French accent. Hassan. Oui, on va voir le stream de Hassan. I'm not expecting an acknowledgement either. We'll see though. You know Hassan used to talk to me. He came on my podcast. Now he's big Mr. Celeb. Ooh, oh, I'm so sorry. So sorry to disturb you. Oh no. Thank you again for watching the stream, everyone, today. It was another great one. Thanks for joining. I'll be back tomorrow. Same time. Alright? I'll be back tomorrow. Until then, thank you again. I love you. See you later. Goodbye.